Okay, welcome.
Welcome.
Housewives of True Crime, YouTube edition.
What's up?
So, we recorded already a little bit before I realized that I didn't turn on the camera recording. And so, this is a second time around recording. So, welcome.
We have a solution, though.
Solution.
Big brain on tap.
You're going to see our faces for, I don't know, a couple minutes with just some audio because we do have that recording. And then you're going to get the rest of our cuteness, me moving around because I've got the ADHD and I can't sit still very long. Thank you, Wendy, for all of your incoming advices. I have all the fidgets and all the shit to like keep me focused. Thank you. So get ready for just our face for a couple minutes.
And then you're going to hear me lose my shit on tap when she told me that she was not recording.
Yes, but it is funny.
It's funny. It happens.
All right. Okay. So thanks for your patience.
So much for watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Housewives of True Crime.
On location.
Summertime. Gretchen is, I could see from the YouTube video that will be up eventually that you have a nice beach behind you. I can't really see her face too well, but there's some.
That's okay. The beach is better to look at.
Although it looks a little foggy.
Yeah, it is. But it's kind of like working for us. It's that nice,
crisp,
overcast, like the cypress trees.
Coming from Texas heat.
Coming from Texas. Gonna make some clam chowder later.
Oh my God.
Gonna be delicious.
Should be in Boston. Hey, so I got myself this Yeti cup. Actually, it's a Hello Bello Yeti, okay? When I first moved to Texas, everybody, it didn't have to be a Yeti. It could be whatever. But like they all carried around these cups like this, right? And I didn't really get it. I was like, what is the deal with these cups? Like everybody carries them. It's not like a thing.
Because it's hot AF. You got to stay hydrated.
Yes, but so that is why. But it wasn't hot AF when I got here, right? So I just didn't get it. But now I even get it because when I get my Starbucks, the ice melts in like a second. So unless I have the Yeti, this is my Starbucks right now. I carry this in my car so I can just pour it in here.
Yeah. The Yeti cups are worth every penny.
They really are. And then I will go and play tennis, keep it in my car.
And it's fine.
100 and
I don't know
something
what
degrees.
kind of magic they make it out of, but it is
still has the ice in it. It's incredible. They should be a sponsor. I love them so much.
Yeah, they should. I don't think they even need us. They're so popular.
I know. So crazy news came out yesterday.
Oh my God.
A few days ago for you guys listening.
So crazy. I cannot even.
So Britney Spears.
We're talking about Britney,
our
obviously.
Best friend.
And we did a 2-part series about her on Patreon.
Yes,
if anyone
we
cares
did. If
to
anybody
listen.
wants to listen. But she went to court yesterday and she was allowed to talk, which she has not been allowed to talk for many years. And Britney came out with the guns.
Dude, she's got a voice. It's so amazing to hear it.
I
think it made Tab really sad, but it made me excited.
Listen.
I'm like, that's my girl.
I will tell you, there were no recording devices allowed in the courtroom, but somebody snuck one in and they released it on YouTube. So if anybody wants to listen to it, it is there. And if anybody follows Britney on Instagram, they see her with this baby voice. And that's the voice that she has had for years. But Britney does not have the baby voice in court.
No.
And she is strong. And I think it probably took a lot. But I will tell you, her dad is a fucking asshole.
Asshole. Yeah.
And she says it. She's like, he owns her as a slave to work for him. And California has let it happen.
It's so crazy.
It's crazier. It's crazier than we thought.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's crazier than we even thought.
It's crazier than anybody had thought. So I hope the judge this time comes to her senses and frees her, because really, I mean, you know, when they say free Britney, like really free Britney. She's 40 years old. She should be able to live her life the way that she wants to live her life. And I mean, dude, like, she's a slave.
Yeah.
I'm sad for her, but I know what you're saying. You were like, yeah, I think that
I knew she had it in her.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. This is like our deep,
Right.
dark, not dark, but deep down, like Britney fascination that we've had for so many years. Because she, you know.
Okay, Tab, I got to tell you about my drive up here
Okay, tell me.
because it was so crazy. It's 11 and a half hours.
Driving.
You guys, driving. So I came home from the Texas on Monday night. Flight got delayed. Didn't get home till late Monday. Did all my laundry, packed up my car, drove 11 and a half hours the next day. Bananas. Anyways, my kid, Willow, lost 2 teeth in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they loose?
I don't even know. She's just like, I mean, if there's just a little bit of wiggle, she just sat there and
her and I are the same.
Just yanked it out. She couldn't take it. And she was so satisfied by the feeling, she did it to another tooth. And then she's like, is the tooth fairy going to come on vacation? Because I got a feeling I'm going to get $5 since I did 2 at the same time. I'm like, I don't think so. I think you got to do it at your house.
Oh my God. Give her
Does
the
that make me a bad
$5.
parent?
Yes.
She's already forgotten about it.
So let me tell you, my daughter got her braces off yesterday. And
she did. You didn't even send me a picture or anything.
Because she would not show me her teeth. She is so upset about it, Gretchen.
Oh, I remember. Like, you know what? I remember that feeling because they feel big.
She's like, they're huge. She was crying all day. All day.
I know. Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. I remember that feeling, actually. She just has to get used to them.
I know. That's what I told her. I was like, they're not big. They're beautiful. And the bigger the teeth, the better. I mean, if I had bigger teeth, I love big teeth. Like Julia Roberts' teeth. I love them.
I know. Well, you tell her I thought the same thing at first.
I did too. Even as an adult, I had braces in my 20s. And I remember when I got them off, I was like, oh, I don't look so cute with them off.
Yep.
Sean, I told him that yesterday. He's like, I couldn't wait for you to get those braces off.
All of us couldn't wait for you to get those braces off.
Were you embarrassed going to the clubs with me with my braces?
100% I was. And your teeth were not even like that crooked. We were like, why would you do that?
I got Invisalign after that. I still have Invisalign, you guys. Like, I'm working my 2 years.
You have an obsession with your teeth.
No, they need to be perfect. See?
Okay.
You guys are on YouTube. You could see them.
They're very good right now. Okay. Do you want to talk some crime?
Please.
Let's do it. Okay. This case is long awaited for. This is the case of Jennifer Dulos. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. I think she's such a beautiful woman, mother.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we've kind of like watched it all unfold to get to this point, but I didn't really know all the details. We talked about it on Patreon when it was actually happening, but I thought it's time to take a deep dive and discuss the disappearance of her in New Canaan, Connecticut. This case was brought to us by a couple listeners, but specifically Rachel Clark and Sherry. I'm going to say your name wrong. Sherry. I have a knack for that. It's spelled Fatteddad. I want to say Fat Dad, but I'm not gonna.
Or you will.
It's got to be Fatted. I don't know. Sorry, Sherry. Okay.
But Sherry,
but I didn't.
Fine.
I didn't say Fat Dad. Okay, we're gonna go with Sherry. Thank you. Okay. So, New Canaan, Connecticut. Connecticut is pricey.
Oh, it totally is pricey.
Oh my God.
And it's
Okay.
bougie. All those people wear like the, navy and white.
Yeah, I know, right? They're just crisp. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so in New Canaan, most 3-bedroom homes are in the multi-million-dollar range, but you can
God.
score one for as little as $750,000.
For like a shack.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, the thing is they're all cute. Even your little 3-bedroom shack is like hardwood floors, clean white walls.
Yeah.
You know, they're not like run down where like, say, Texas, you'd find shitty carpet and outdated everything, you know?
No.
It's not like that. It's very classic style in Connecticut.
Yes. Everything is white. And I don't know. I think if you paint everything white, it always looks new. Like just repaint it white.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. I imagine Connecticut has like great farmers markets. The moms all wear like J. Crew.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. I'm actually not so sure that my sloppy ass would fit in there.
I don't think that you would fit in there. And I do not like wearing flats unless they're tennis shoes.
Oh.
So I would
that's
also
right. You do have an aversion. Yeah.
not be okay with it.
I'd be tromping around.
I'd be in my
your
like
wedges.
wedges.
Causing trouble.
I'd be like, who is that?
That.
With her bright pink mini skirt. No.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so Jennifer and her husband Fotis were what I imagine a pretty typical wealthy Connecticut couple to kind of be. Fotis owned a custom home building business, and Jennifer was a writer when she wasn't busy with her 5 children, 2 sets of twins. That's bananas.
She's got one up on you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she does.
I mean, one up on the twin spectrum, like
right.
Actually, if you had another set of twins, you would have 5 kids too. So
true story. Yeah. When I found out I was pregnant again after having the first set of twins, I made my doctor give me an ultrasound like that day because I was like, dude, I have to know that it's only one baby. Like I can handle this if it's only one, but if there's 2 in there, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
So hats off to Jennifer.
Right.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Okay. So Jennifer and Fotis met at Brown University.
Smarty pants.
They are smarty pants, but they didn't actually hook up until 15 years after graduation.
Whoa.
When they ran into each other in Aspen. That's like so East Coast snotty story, right?
Yeah, like I said, bougie.
Yeah. Okay. So they were both good looking. I mean, Jennifer, total disco biscuit, the long, effortless, hair.
Brown
she had
hair.
like the Julia Roberts smile.
She does.
I mean, yeah, how ironic that we're talking about smiles in the get-go today, because she had really an incredible one. She was very fit, especially for having the 5 kids. I mean, perfect. You're fucking shitting me. We have to start over? You are such a loser, Tab. I'm firing you.
I forgot. Shitballs. We'll record the beginning again for just YouTube. So keep going.
Oh my God. Okay. You're so bad. Okay, so from the outside, everything is picture perfect with this beautiful family, but it wasn't perfect at all, and it hadn't been for a minute. Jennifer and Fotis had married in 2004, and she filed for divorce and moved 70 miles from the family home where they were living in 2017. What led up to that is some pretty common reasons people split. Financial stress, infidelity, right? So both of those can get real messy and more than messy, straight up scary when the person you're trying to divorce is as controlling and threatening as Fotis was. So Jennifer came from a wealthy family. Her father was the president of Chase Morgan Bank.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Big time.
yeah, that's big time.
Mhm.
Okay. So despite growing up very privileged, people say she was very down to earth. And for a time, she wrote a blog called Five Make Seven. And the blog has been taken down, but I was able to read some excerpts from it. And she is very relatable. And it's clear her world revolved around her children. Fotis had grown up in Greece and came from more humble beginnings. And some people speculate he always looked at Jennifer as a meal ticket because of her family money. At some point, he borrowed $2.5 million from her parents for his business. And he was repaying that loan until Jennifer's father passed away. And then he didn't think it was super necessary to keep paying. Lame, right?
Mhm.
So after Jennifer filed for divorce, Jennifer's mother filed a lawsuit against Fotis for repayment of the loan, which he now, of course, claimed was just a gift. Right.
Mhm.
So Fotis just like fancied himself entitled to not just Jennifer's family money, but to the finer things in general, like nice cars, vacations. He always kind of had to have the best. And that's all well and good if you can afford it, but Fotis really couldn't. He needed to sell some of those expensive and expansive custom homes that he had built because his business was in about $7 million of debt,
Yikes, that's a lot.
right? So, I mean, that is the financial stress that led up to the filing for divorce. And on top of all that, there was the infidelity. Jennifer had found out about Fotis's latest fling, and it was with a woman named Michelle Triconis. She confronted Fotis about the affair, and that fucker had the balls to tell her that it was more than an affair, that he loved Michelle. And so her and her 12-year-old daughter would be moving into their home.
Oh. Oof.
Like they were all just going to like live together as
Together?
one big happy
Yeah.
family. Yeah. Yeah. He told her that was happening.
Not here.
No way. That is the
Fotis.
point when Jennifer made the move to the rental house in New Canaan, where she was living with her children in 2019. When she did actually leave the family home with Fotis, she hired bodyguards to,
So
get out. Yeah.
he must have been a real scary guy
He must have been
for a
a scary
while.
guy. And and I think that's why she moved
Yeah.
70 miles away because of his temper.
Mhm.
Okay, so that was in 2017. And until 2019, they had been going back and forth over custody and finances. It was ugly, like ugly, ugly. Fotis had a temper and he had threatened to take the children to Greece so she would never see them again. Jennifer thankfully was able to get full custody, and then Fotis was only able to have supervised visits with the children. And so the courts were on her side in that aspect. Unfortunately, they weren't on her side when she tried to get a restraining order against Fotis for herself. She said she was afraid for her life and that he had threatened her and bullied her in the court papers, but the judge said that that was just hearsay, and so her request was denied.
Dude. Like, why are we still?
Because he's good looking. I think because he's good looking. Good looking people are more convincing.
Yeah, but I feel like we're in the day and age where let's start taking this shit seriously. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not like she's trying to get anything from him. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
she's
Yeah.
wealthy on her own. Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to protect herself, and the judge is like, "Sorry?" Like, what else can
Yeah.
she do?
Yeah. It's total injustice. Yeah. I think about what it must have been like for Jennifer leaving this controlling man after taking his shit for 13 years and becoming a single mom. In that blog that she had, their excerpts are about like all the joys of her kids and also like the loss of sleep and juggling it all. And when she actually left him, her youngest twins were 6. And for me, when my kids got to that age, that's when I started to get kind of clear-headed, like you're really in the weeds with
Mhm.
twins. And I think it was probably the same for her. At that age, your kids become like pretty like self-sufficient and life gets busier, but also so much easier with multiples. I thought about that a lot actually recently when I traveled with my kids solo, because I mean, like we've come a long way.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, they can like
it's
get
like,
in and out of the car
yeah,
themselves.
buckle their own
Yeah,
seatbelts. It's like, yeah, you can reason with them. You can bribe them much easier. Is great, right?
100%.
Okay. I mean, so I feel like, yeah, we can relate. We can all relate to Jennifer in that way. That when your youngest hit like that age, you kind of start to get your groove back. When our youngest were around that age, we started this podcast,
Right.
right?
You're
In,
right.
in Jennifer's case, she got back to writing the novel that she had started 10 years prior. Okay. And her friends say while all the divorce drama had taken its toll on her, she was going to come out on the other side thriving. It was like, it was hopeful. I
Yeah.
imagine Jennifer felt the same way because for the first time in 2 years since she had moved out with her children and Michelle Traconis and her child moved in with Fotis, she allowed Fotis past the driveway of her rental home and had dinner with him and the kids in the backyard. It must have been such a relief that there could be, some kind of, she's moving on with her life, she's going to finish her book. There's going to be some kind of peace with this man that a year prior to she had attempted to get a restraining order against,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it didn't last long because 2 days later, on May 24th, 2019, Jennifer dropped her kids off at school per her usual routine at 8 a.m. and then returned to her home, never to be seen again. Alarm bells went off immediately when the nanny arrived at the house with the children where she was getting ready to go to. She was supposed to get them ready to go to a dental appointment in the city where Jennifer was to meet them. When the nanny approached the house, she saw that the mudroom door was left open and unlocked, and that was not typical. And also, there were only 2 rolls of toilet paper in the cupboard, which struck her as weird because she had just bought a 12-pack the day before. Jennifer's car was also gone, but her purse was still there. So it's obvious something is amiss.
Mm-hmm.
She makes some calls to try to reach Jennifer and finds out where she is. And she learns that she has missed the doctor's appointment that she had scheduled that day. And that is totally out of character for her. So the nanny ends up taking the children to Jennifer's mother's home in the city and then calling the police and telling them that Jennifer was missing and that she was going through a real contentious divorce. The police decide to do a well-being check on Jennifer and go to her home. And when they go to her home, they discover blood on the floor of the garage. As you can imagine, all eyes are on Fotis. He is the only person in the world with any motivation to harm Jennifer.
And what do we always
turns
say? Just saying.
right. Well, it turns out he had some real motivation. And it wasn't just because he was like a bitter Betty that Jennifer no longer agreed till death do us part. The kids actually had substantial trust funds courtesy of, bank president Gramps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whoever controlled the kids had access to the money. So if Jennifer was dead, say, Fotis could get his hands on the dough. So shady. So
Not surprising.
Not surprising though, right? So police go question the Fotis and he's like not sweating it. They describe him as being a little too calm given the mother of his children is missing and they suspect foul play. And they tell him that. So they press him harder and he actually surrendered his phone. This is when the unfortunate events that happened the day Jennifer disappeared started to unfold because Fotis probably thought like, sure, take my phone. It's not like I texted anyone. I'm going to kill Jennifer because I want to control my kids' money. I'm not that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But he is so dumb because everyone knows that your phone knows everything that you do. It's keeping tabs on you.
Oh, it's like tracking where he's going, like coming
Right.
and going.
Yeah, and they were able to get the data off of his phone that showed his locations that day. And when they got that information, Fotis, he had some explaining to do. Okay. I mean, wouldn't you know, Fotis was in New Canaan that morning.
70
Like,
miles from his house.
correct.
Okay.
And then he was at one of his vacant properties for a long time. And then he drove along Hartford Avenue and made 30 different stops at various dumpsters. We pretty much know everywhere Fotis was that day except for an unaccounted hour and a half because his cell phone matched up with video surveillance around town. They have cameras everywhere. Okay. So Michelle Draconis, by the way, was with Fotis that day from the
whole time.
point, not the whole time, from the point of him at his vacant property to the dumpsters drive. So she was questioned by the police as well. And she says she was at the house because Fotis had asked her to come help him clean it for a showing. And he asked her to bring specific supplies like Clorox, paper towels, and garbage bags. Okay. The odd thing about this is for one, Fotis, like these homes are selling for millions and millions of dollars. And Fotis being the way he was, all extra fancy and shit, I'm like, there is no way he was cleaning his own properties. Like that's not gonna fly, right? And they're new homes, right? Like I use Clorox to do laundry, but to clean a brand new house, like that's just not what you would use, right?
Like
It's not
Clorox
like he said,
bleach, like
yeah,
a
like
big
Clorox,
jug.
yeah, like Clorox bleach. I mean,
No.
like if it was Fabuloso, maybe that is like something believable,
I just bought
right?
Fabuloso today.
Oh my God, it smells so good. The baby powder scent, it's really hard to find.
Listen, it's really toxic though. That
It
shit
is
is
totally,
like
but
so.
I feel clean
It's
when
such
I
a
use it.
facade.
Yeah.
The only reason I bought it today is because I was out of all of my stuff and I just had to run to the grocery store. And then I was like, but I do like the smell.
The smell is good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So police were like, so hey Michelle, all the garbage bags and the dumpster stops, what's with that? And Michelle said, despite spending the hours from 2 to 6:30 p.m. with Fotis cleaning, she had no idea what was in the bags and why they were making so many stops.
That's so
So
weird.
that's so weird, right? She's so full of shit. Okay. So the investigators were able to actually retrieve some of those garbage bags. And they also got a search warrant for Fotis's property and his current residence. In the bags, they found the shirt they knew Jennifer was wearing that day, covered in blood,
Her blood?
her blood. They also found bloody zip ties, paper towels, a mop, and a logo plate off a bike, which turned out to be a really rare, like fancy as fuck bike that Fotis owned. They think what the significance of the bike thing
Yeah.
is that they think that he parked his truck 3 miles away and
Biked
then
there.
biked to Jennifer's house and then broke into her garage, restrained her, and then murdered her at his vacant property.
Like took her.
Like took
there.
her. Yeah. At the property where Fotis and Michelle, like it was the vacant property where Fotis and Michelle had spent so much time cleaning it. They had a forensic pathologist examine the scene and they said it was clear that a brutal murder had happened there. There's no way anyone could have survived that much blood loss. And it was also obvious that someone had attempted to cover it up. So at Fotis and Michelle's home, they found typed statements accounting for everything that both of them had done that day. The investigators started calling
Who typed it?
Fotis and Michelle. They started calling them their like the investigators referred to them as the alibi scripts.
That is so weird.
Well, but that would make sense, right? Okay. But Michelle says they were told to write down what they did that day by their attorney, which kind of also makes sense too.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So one of Fotis's workers came forward to the police and told them that Fotis had used the work truck that this guy usually drives the week Jennifer disappeared. And when he returned it to him, it had been professionally detailed. Like, because, you get work trucks professionally detailed all the
Totally.
time,
All the
right?
time.
Yeah, yeah. And Fotis also told him to get the seats replaced.
Oh, replace the seats.
And the guy thought that's super weird. Yeah, yeah. So he went ahead and he kept those seats and he turned them over to the police. And when they tested them, they found Jennifer's blood. So at first, 9 days after Jennifer disappeared, Fotis and Michelle were arrested for tampering with evidence. Fotis's attorney actually gave a statement after the arrest that he had read Jennifer's unpublished novel and that it was like Gone Girl, the movie, the book, bestseller.
Yeah.
And so he implied that Jennifer had framed Fotis for her murder and then disappeared herself.
Right. And left her 5 kids. Uh-huh.
Yes, exactly. So this obviously enraged her friends and family who are like, no way, no how would she have ever left her children? And by the way, that's not even what the fucking book is about. Okay. And I mean, that is pretty low, even for a defense attorney, right?
No, there's so many times where I'm like, I would love to be a defense attorney, but some of them are such douchebags. Like, you went to law school, you're a smart person. Like, really?
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be a bad person.
Massaro, dickhead. I hate him. Okay. So, Fotis and Michelle both bonded out, but they were ordered not to speak to each other.
That probably didn't happen.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So then we learned there is some involvement by Fotis's real estate attorney, this guy named Kent Mawhinney. A couple of guys reported to the police that they had stumbled on what appeared to be an empty grave on the grounds of their hunting club, which Kent was a member of. And he had, I mean, I guess it's like huge. Okay. And to access this particular area, you have to like ask for the key to open the gate.
Okay.
To drive down the road. And Kent had requested the key. Okay. He was also like a founding member of this hunting club. So he's real familiar. So, police like examined this remote area and the grave, and there is no evidence that Jennifer's body was ever there. But there is some evidence that this guy Kent was in cahoots with Fotis to provide him with an alibi. And the court papers say that Kent's wife actually spoke to the police and she thought that both men wanted Jennifer dead for the money. Shady, right? I mean, I just feel like Mawhinney sounds like a bad guy.
Okay.
Okay. So Kent was arrested and he is still not bonded out. Okay. So then Fotis and Michelle were rearrested and bonded out again. At this point, Michelle kind of started cooperating with the police a little. At this point, she told them that she did not know what happened to Jennifer, but that Fotis had mentioned once or twice that life would be easier if she just disappeared. So, I mean, she's thinking like, can I throw him under the bus so I can get myself out of this pickle?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Yeah. So 8 months after the disappearance, Fotis was officially charged with murder, and Michelle and Kent were charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Fotis was on house arrest at this point and was given an ankle monitor. His bail was $6.5 million.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. So he had put up some of his houses as collateral for the bonds company, but the bonds company learned that the houses were actually in foreclosure. And so they asked for an emergency hearing because they didn't want to be responsible for the risk anymore.
Yeah.
So at this hearing, Fotis did not show up. And so they checked his ankle monitor and they found that he was still at his home in Farmington, 2 hours away. So police headed over there and they found that he had attempted suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning.
Like in his garage.
Yeah. So he still had a pulse when they found him. And so they transported him to the hospital. And he was taken off life support the following day. He left a note. It's super balls. It says, he didn't do it, and neither did Michelle or Kent, but it was too much for him to handle being accused of it. So he just wanted to end all the pain. Also, I
He,
think like
by the way,
he,
is such
a coward.
a coward.
Yeah.
Nice, easy word there. But that is what I'm thinking.
It basically is a confession because it's like, also, okay, let's say Fotis. Let's say you really didn't do it. How are you sure that these other two people didn't do it either? Right?
Because he did it.
Because he did it. He should have said, I mean, that they didn't do it, but he did. I mean, he's trying to die anyways.
Yeah, right. He should have, like, if he really wanted to, like, let
He's a
Michelle
narcissist.
off.
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah.
narcissistic.
He should have said she knew nothing. Yeah.
He couldn't go down. He's like, I'm gonna die, but I'm not gonna go down having everybody think that
Right.
I'm a loser, which I totally am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narcissist. Yeah. Okay. Well, thankfully, Jennifer's mother has retained custody of all those children, since the day she disappeared. The family released a statement a year later that said that all the kids were doing well and how strong they are is a testament to the influence their loving mother had on them while she was still here. The big question now is, what is going to happen to Kent and Michelle?
Yeah.
With Fotis dead, I mean, I don't know what kind of deal they can negotiate for themselves. I mean, he really kind of screwed them.
Dude, I don't think anything. They're gonna still go to court.
And especially if they really don't know where the body is, then they don't have any bargaining.
The body is
tools.
in 20 different dumpsters. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, they painstakingly went through. I mean, I feel like they found so much evidence. I feel like the body is somewhere else.
like the whole body.
At one point, they dug up one of his properties, like the septic system and everything.
Yeah.
Until the trial happens, I don't think we'll know, obviously, everything that they don't, that they know.
Yeah.
And the trial will not likely happen until May of 2022.
Wow, that's a long time away.
I know. Thanks, COVID. And it's going to be like crazy because the evidence for their conspiracy charges is all circumstantial, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the truck is driving and down the street and they're putting stuff in the dumpsters, you only see Jennifer like reach her hand out. I mean, not Jennifer, Michelle, like reach her hand out like twice. So her attorney is really like, she didn't have anything to do with it. And her DNA wasn't mixed with anything of Jennifer's.
There's a possibility that she gets off, but I doubt it. I bet she'll get like 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they have to know more information. And so I can't wait for the trial to learn what they what they know.
Yeah.
So Lifetime already made a movie about it.
Did you watch it?
I did. It's called Gone Mom. And I don't
Aw.
remember the actress's name, but like I think they got a really good one to play Jennifer. She's super hot.
Jennifer was super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was pretty good and accurate,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, you can rent it all on Prime if you don't have the Lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a whop.
Gosh. Well, I think he's guilty. Now he's hopefully rotting in hell. If there is a hell. If not, maybe he's just sitting in purgatory thinking about what he did and having to repent his sins. Or maybe he is reincarnated into like a leech.
Well, I mean, really,
or a
what kind of piece
earthworm.
of shit is this Kent Mawhinney guy that was in cahoots? I can't wait to
Dude,
see what all the evidence is. Like, hey, let's like off the mother of your,
Dude,
5 children so that I
that's a
can
bad
get like
guy.
a payday.
Yeah.
And the fact that Kent's wife came to the police. I mean, she's like, that's so wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, for your wife to turn on you, you've got to be a pretty
bananas.
bad dude, right? Slimy.
Bananas. So I have a little update. Somebody that knows Megan McAllister. Do you remember? She was the girlfriend of Philip Markoff, the fiance, remember?
Yeah.
Of our last episode. And I told you I couldn't find her. And so she wanted to tell me that she does have a new name. She's married. And she had no idea that her douchebag fiance was such a bad person, which I didn't think she did. I had no doubt that
no.
Had no clue. And this guy was off doing his own weirdness.
We're talking about the Craigslist killer.
The Craigslist killer, right?
Yeah.
And she says that she has beautiful children and is living happily ever after. And so I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm glad she was able to put it past her. Well, that's a very nice update. I really appreciate that.
I know. Isn't that nice? So she did say that she did suffer trauma, but she got therapy and she has a great family. And so I'm, that there is a happy ending to that, because I cannot, like, what if you were like thinking you were planning your whole wedding and then all of a sudden your fiance turns out to be like I said, he was on his way to be a real serial killer. I just know it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Also, let me tell you something else. I want to give a couple shout outs to some people. Oh, here's a question that we got from our friend Summer. She's thinking about either going to a cruise or to CrimeCon. I said go on the cruise.
You do? Okay. Summer.
What do you think?
We have to pick. Where's the cruise to?
Bahamas.
Cruise. I don't know. I mean, CrimeCon's going to be pretty cool.
I mean, it's in Vegas. I said
we haven't committed.
We love Vegas. Do we not?
We haven't committed to going 100%.
We're going to go though.
When is it?
I don't know, next year.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going. It's Vegas. We love Vegas. We want to play some craps.
Okay, this is what you do. I have a plan.
Okay.
You're going to come to CrimeCon. You're going to play craps. You're going to win enough money to pay for the cruise. And then you could do both. Yeah.
I know, but I think she has to go on the cruise. I think the cruise is before CrimeCon. So I say go on the cruise and then save
There's
some
got to
money.
be casinos. There's a great casino on the boat,
Dude,
I'm sure.
There is casinos on the cruise. Just be smart about playing craps. Just bet
Black
6
number
and 8.
4 is a good number on roulette.
Oh, black 15. My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But craps, just bet 6 and 8 and you're golden. You will win. I promise you.
Yeah. True.
And then Layla, thank you for shouting us out. Very appreciative. Also, gosh dang it. Oh, I'm Taryn, thank you so much. Also for shouting us out. SoCal Barbie, very cute. And I think that's it. But if you guys would like to give us a shout and tag us on Instagram or Facebook, we will give you a shout back. Thank you for all of our new listeners. We have gotten so many, and we appreciate you guys following us on our true crime group on Facebook. We've gotten a plethora this last week. So
I know we're going to post something.
welcome.
What should we
post?
something. What do you guys want to see on the Facebook group? That is what we should be saying. What do you want to see? What do you want from us?
Do you guys want like what we do?
You want to see what we're doing? Because I feel like a kind of a Fotis posting what I'm doing in my regular life. But if you tell me you want it, I want to say I'm your bitch, but I feel like that's going to get me in trouble.
It might.
I'm your girl.
I will also tell you, maybe not say you're like Fotis. I mean, he's like a real bad guy.
Okay.
But
just narcissistic, I'm saying.
Okay.
Makes me feel narcissistic.
Okay. So let me tell you, Gretchy, we are really bad picture takers. So I think
the worst.
We would need your help.
We are the worst.
We have one picture that I already posted of us from Texas in the.
But why don't you post it in the group?
I posted on Instagram, but sure, I'll post it in the group.
Put it in the group.
Okay, fine. Okay. Fine, I'll do that. And did I have anything else I wanted to talk to you guys about? I feel like I did. But anyways, we also have Patreon. Gretchen did an awesome case last week on Hillsong. And it's a good one. So if you guys want an extra case to listen to, go to patreon.com/Housewives of True Crime. And we have a bunch of old episodes. We have cases every single month. And then we do a new just release on Thursdays. So if you want more of us, we're there.
I'm also really excited on Patreon to continue following the Danny Masterson case and, giving like good updates on that. I'm into all things Scientology.
Right. Yeah. So follow us there. And we really thank you for your support, all you Patreons. That is really helpful to us. And I think that's it. So clink, clink, guys.
That's it. Yeah. Look, check me out. Can you see how cool it is here? No, it's like very
cute.
Do you see this lamp? It came with the house. It's super ugly. That's why I moved it on the floor. Everyone here hates me right now. Because they're all quiet. Like, I closed all the windows, turned off the fans. Yeah.
I know.
They're like, oh, she's so weird and annoying.
Everybody hates me too. I have a whole extra family here going swimming. They're not even in the pool. I'm like, you guys go outside.
Oh my God.
We have a pool for a reason.
Yeah.
Get your asses in it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. Well, okay. So this is different between California and Texas pools. Texas pools get hot and they don't cool down at night because the weather doesn't actually get like below a certain temperature. So
yeah,
your pool is real warm, like real warm. But I like that. I'm a bather.
You like that?
Yes, because Gretchen and I went to the lake and it was so fun. It's so warm. The lake is so warm. So we just went and got our,
the lake was perfect.
I know. And I like that. Like, I like when you can get in the pool.
That reminds me, I need to buy some of those.
We have
I need
these
to buy those. We call them diapers.
lake diapers. You like sit on them and then you just float around. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't really know what they're called, but they go on like a diaper.
I need those.
Okay. Everybody needs those. If they live in a lake that is nice and you can sit there and have your cocktail.
I sat out. There's a jacuzzi out here.
Awesome.
I sat out in that yesterday. I'm the only one. Well, me and my children. The only one utilizing it.
Oh,
how can you not?
I know. Okay, well, clink, clink.
Okay, clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
Happy 4th of July-ish.
Oh, shoot. Wait, is it coming up? It's coming up this weekend. Okay, happy 4th.